recording.
Maria coughed the words under her breath. Junk peddler. The vendor hurled a neon green Buddha statue at her, elongated snail antenna replacing his eyes in his usual peace sign instead of that, a Vulcan variety. It whooshed past her head, cracking into a pillar behind her.
Wow.
Jesus! That was enough to convince Maria to retreat, at least for now. She turned tail and sprinted down an alley tightly packed with other vendors and booths.
I was the vendor, right?
Yeah.
I did like a Oko-san-ish voice, right?
Yeah, just...
Wrong deity! And don't come back!
As Maria was dodging in and out of the contested crowds and shoving strollers out of her way, she considered, only for a moment, that this was the karma Joe had tried warning her about. Of course, admitting that would also be admitting that Slacker was right, and she wasn't back to give him the dignity. There was one thing he had been right about, though. Something that even Maria, still stumbling around in the fog of her morning hangover, could see. The squirt was sad. Yeah, all kids get sad and breathe, fact of life and all that jazz. Give the turds a little soda and some Skittles and they'll bounce back just fine. But the way Maria saw it, there were different types of sadness. Some that were different enough to transcend the three-letter word that presented it. She'd never figured out a word to describe the transcendence, and if there was one, it was too long for her to care to learn it.
Depression.
It's called depression, honey. Learn it! But she'd seen it in action before. She'd seen it down by the river, where Joe would mope and stare at the water for hours before holding himself up in his room for days. She'd seen it belching out of steel chimneys on the horizon during the day she ditched school, enveloping the whole town in gray clouds and making the flat plains of Missouri feel like a snow globe.
They're from Missouri, damn, they're a long way from there.
And she had felt it when watching the neighbor's cable, the blue glow from the garage sale CRT lighting up her face as she cranked up the volume to drown out the noises of her old lady and whatever uncle she had brought home that week were making. Whatever this was, that feeling would poke at Maria when she was forced to stare down the spout of an empty bottle. And now that seemed to be stabbing her kid sister. She hated it. It's clinical depression! Get some, Prozac or something. It was like a virus, spreading, cyclical, now trying to sink its teeth in the test. Trying. Maria Pistorius, the terror of the Southwest, badass treasure hunter, and the true winner of the race to find the miner's gold, was not about to let this thing take a bite out of her sister. Not yet. There's gotta be something around here. In a way, Tessa's birthday felt like a deadline. If she could just find one thing to give her, something that could make the twerp smile, well, she might be able to beat this thing off for just a little while longer. She took a gander at the rainbow tarps on both sides of her that trapped her in the attic. Turns out the swap meet was only a quarter of the story, and was just being sandwiched between overly expensive food stalls and a new age soccer moms trying to sell her their craft jewelry. There hadn't been a single good find all day. How could there be? That cheapskate Joe, he had only given her $20 to work with. He had just given her his cut. She would have made better use of it. She passed the popcorn vendor and nabbed a handful of kettle corn out of the little boy's bag. With her mouth wide open as she chewed, she pointed at every booth that looked like a waste of time. Garbage. Crap. Hot garbage. Junk. None of this was good enough for her sister. Well, none of it was even very good. She swallowed as she made eye contact with a thin vendor that had a pencilly mustache. He was selling rose-themed decor. Maria stopped at his table. I've seen better hauls at estate sales after old-timers croak on the toilet. Maria went on her way. She was just about ready to answer the call of the casino. Maybe take advantage of those complimentary drinks those chicks in the tight slacks were serving. It's what a high-rolling vase this fat cat like her would deserve after all. Don't do it, man. But then she saw it. The only thing special enough to make her head snap her head back and stop. Aww. I don't have. I'm sorry for pausing. That's just like really cute.
Yeah.
A license plate nailed to the top of a wooden display. Nothing particular special to Maria. She saw them on the road every day and often used them fraudulently, depending on which county they were in if they had a warrant out for her. But to test these rectangular wonders were treasures. But what would make this license plate special? But what would make this license plate special to test was the sunflower shape slapped on the middle of it, shining through the black test like a sunbeam. It was perfect for her. Her flat eyes always got slightly less flat when they passed fields of them growing on the side of the road. Sunflower wallpaper, sunflower seeds at gas stations. It was the only thing the kids seemed to identify with more than the red, white, and blue itself. The state in question? In the faraway land of Kansas, a place so foreign to Maria that she often doubted the legitimacy of its existence. Now, Maria wasn't an expert on the geographical makeup of the United States. For most things, really. She bumped her head on enough of Tess's wind chimes to know which one she did and didn't know, and Kansas was one of the several missing. Maria marched over to the booth until she was close enough to smell the sticks of burning incense wafting from it. Hey! She called into the booth. It was bigger than the others, the top bleeding into the row behind it. The inside had an assortment of rugs and tapestries draped on the knickknacks on display. It looked like a shop that had been standing in the same bazaar for generations and would be there for even longer. I said, hey!
Jesus.
You do it.
Okay. What a wonderful kind of day.
Standing up from behind a stack of boxes, a man with a vape pen dangling from his mouth coughed out a greeting to Maria.
Sorry for the delay in service, sister. Still unpacking some artifacts, it would seem. I wish I knew how to do a James Charles voice now.
Maria's nose wrinkled. She squinted into the man's retro sunglasses, but couldn't make out anything past the frames. That's the real alien! Alright, freak. How much for the license plate?
I'm selling a license plate?
The man craned his head out from the booth and looked up. His curly hair bobbed at the slightest movement.
Oh, guess I am!
Maria dug out her $20, ready to cough it over and get her change, but the vendor shooed it away.
Nuh-uh-uh. I'm afraid that's not how things roll here, sister.
Who doesn't like cash? You some kind of commie? He folded his hand and took both index fingers up.
Read the sign from above.
She looked up and did her best to sound out the words carved into the wooden sign in sloppy bubble letters. Silent auction. Silent auction? What the hell is that?
Signs, plural.
She looked up again, this time at the other sign, tacked onto the bottom of the first. Oh. I don't get it.
Sis, you know how to hold a pen, right?
Haven't done that in a while, but I probably still do.
And you know how to use it.
Skating on thin ice, buddy. How do you not know how to use a pen?
I don't know.
Like, how long has it been since she's used the pen?
I don't know, a couple of years. Lake ain't that deep, because that's all you need. What is this Marina's thoughts update? We'll have to check that out at some point.
It's in the gallery.
Yeah.
He slid out a sheet of paper from beneath the table and plopped a pen taped to a hawk feather right alongside it.
Just write down how much you think it's worth, get it?
The cog wheels in Maria's head turned and rattled. She looked at the rows of paper, a column for bids and a column for notes. It took several more seconds before she got it. So some leech could swing by once I leave and outbid me?
Ah, but ain't that how auctions work?
Maria was immediately suspicious. Anything that couldn't be claimed as her own through will or skill was a scam as far as she was concerned. And with only $20 to her name, the quiet tug of restraint called for her. But what was restrained except the excuse of useless pansies too afraid to act? Nothing. It didn't exist. Not to Maria, especially not when there was the risk of Tess turning into a slug. Fine, but if this is a farce, you're roadkill. She held the pen like a fist in her fist like a knife and carved the starting price into the first row.
Only $1? You're killing me here, sis.
She thrusted the tip of the pen at him. If this thing's a hoax, you're gonna wish I actually did.
I hear ya.
Really, he didn't. He grabbed an egg timer from the end of the table and wound it. The continuous ticking began.
Auction time is 60 minutes. Best of luck to ya.
Keep your luck and give it to any sap who tries to get in on this. They're the one who'll need it. Maria gave him one last scowl and slithered away, pushing her hands deep inside the pockets of her jumpsuit. She'd be back soon. 59 minutes remained.
Damn. Oh.
I looked back at Amber once, then head inside. She looks so confused and helpless out there all by herself. Of course she does. I just got angry and stormed off. It's mean, but there's a big part of me that's actually happy that she is. How gross is that? But at least now she can feel it too. What it's like to have no idea what the person you love is thinking.
Jeez.
Maybe that was a little too harsh, though. God, whatever. Can't focus on the nasty stuff right now. Gotta find some kind of gift for Tess. Now, no matter what happens, this is her birthday and we need to be there for her. With how sad she's been lately, we need to find something that'll perk her right up. I slip into the crowd and follow the pretty girls in costumes until I'm deep inside the vendor hall. The further I get, the more it feels like the booths and tarps are multiplying. The people, too. There's enough sweat in here that I could feel like I could actually drown in it. This might be harder than I thought, Tess. But I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Fortunately, after treasure hunts and festivals, navigating crowds is easy peasy for me now. Amber would probably disagree if she were here, but I think I'm quite the expert at it now, thank you very much. I'm afraid of getting distracted by chatting, so I try to avoid looking at the vendors and instead just focus on the merch. There sure is a lot of it. From adorable wooden coyote carvings to really out there art that my mom would shield my eyes from if she saw it. But none of it screams Tess. There are toy vendors and stuff, but Tess isn't into stuff like that. No kid is a regular kid, but she's definitely unique, and I want to make sure we give her something that's unique. Thankfully, I don't have to zoom up and down the aisles for very long. I spot something that doesn't just catch my eye, it's basically yelling at me to stop.
Oh, is she gonna join the silent auction?
Absolutely.
It's nailed to the tippy top of the booth. If I weren't looking, I may not have even noticed it at all. But all I need to do is take one look at it to know that it's made for Tess.
Let's go!
Yeah!
I Kansas license plate with the sunflower.
Do all Kansas license plates have sunflowers?
Maybe not. I mean, there's definitely some states that have variants, so I don't know enough about about Kansas to know.
Yeah, like back where back like over here, we've got like the lilac ones.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a while though since I've seen one.
I must have it. During off course, I swing over to the booth. How much for the license plate? I don't mean to, but my hands slam on the table. An itty-bitty timer on it falls over.
Ah, so I guess this thing really is a hot commodity.
So you have a lot in stock then, thank goodness! What a relief, this will make the test positively positive!
Afraid not, Bubbles. Read the sign.
I look up at the plate again. The license plate number spells JC Saves. From God?
You're my second customer of the day, not the second coming. The other signs, plural.
This time I look at the wooden sign. Or signs. Silent auction. Ooh, I know those! My school did them for fun rates!
Shh.
Puts a finger to his lip and smiles. Even under his sick round glasses, I can tell it's a real smile. I whisper. I know those!
This'll make it easy then.
He unfolds a sheet of paper and smooths it out on the table. I stare down and look at the first row. Someone's already been on it?
Just a few minutes ago. Don't mean you can't, though.
Wow, talk about good timing. It must be fate. I'll do it. $1 isn't a lot. I can outbid that, no sweat. But, how will you tell who's who? There's no name on it, just their bid.
Don't you worry your pretty little ponytail or whatever it is. They use the black pen, so you'll just use a purple one.
He slides a purple ballpoint pen out of his sleeve like some kind of crazy magic trick and tosses it over. Whoa, Mr. Vendor's really sick. I can get it in an extra silent auction.
That's right.
I put the tip of the pen to the paper and write down my bid. 3 United States dollaroos. Sorry, whoever you are, but there's a sad little girl who needs this a lot more than you.
Hey, all's fair in love and bidding wars. Battle ain't over yet, though.
He sets the timer right side up.
There's a little under an hour left in this auction. When this thing rings, it's all over.
I read the timer and give him a quick nod. Okie dokie. I'll make sure to check in before that. See you soon. I try not to smile too much as I walk away. Tess is going to love this. Can't get too excited just yet, though. Still an auction after all. You never know what could happen in 50 minutes.
Oh god. Well, either way, Tess will be happy, and that's all that matters.